crop that out. Our first statistics question is a basic statistics question. It says, scores on the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, a standard IQ test, for the 20 to 34-year-old age group are approximately normally distributed with a mean of 110 and a standard deviation of 25. We can go ahead and draw our curve from that. Here's our mean at 110. Here are our 3 standard deviations. We can fill those in. We have 135, 160, and 185. And then on the left, 85, 60, and 35. The first question is, what percent of people aged 20 to 34 have IQ scores above 100? We need a formula to figure that out. Here's our formula. We have Z equals the actual minus our mean over standard deviation. Okay, so to fill that in, our actual is 100 because that's what we're trying to find. The mean we have is 110 over 25. We can go ahead and plug that right into our calculator. We get 100 minus 110 divided by 25. We get negative 0.4. Here we're going to need a resource. That's where we pull out our table A. We find negative 0.4, and the number that is associated with that is 0.3446. Table A tells us the probability on the left-hand side of that number. So here's about 100. So we know this side, but that doesn't tell us what's above 100. So we need to take 1 minus this area to get the whole other right side. Plug that into your calculator. And you get 0.6554. We need to change that into percent. So what do? We move this decimal point over 2 places, and you get 65.54%. That's the answer to the first question. 65.54% of people aged 20 to 34 have IQ scores above 100. For the second question, it says, what percent have scores above 150? We're pretty much going to do the same thing, just with different numbers. So we have 150 as our new actual minus 110 over 25. We're going to plug this new equation into our calculator. And we get 1.6. Pull out your table A, find 1.6, probably on the other side. And the number associated with that is 0.9452. Okay, so we see 150 is about right here. Remember, table A only told us what was on the left side. So we need to find that little area on the right side. So we're going to do 1 minus 0.9452. And you should get 0.0548. Move the decimal over 2, and then you now have 5.48% of people had an IQ score above 150. The final question is, how high an IQ score is needed to be in the highest 25% of people? So the highest 25% is going to be right over here somewhere. To do this one, we're going to work backwards. So the number we found on our chart would not be 25. It would be 0.0025, but it wouldn't be that either. Because remember, that would show us the other area. We would actually get 0.0075. So we find that on our chart. You're going to look in the little numbers this time because this is your answer. This is a hard one. Or you're going to find 0.75. So the closest we find to that is 0.7517. 0.7517 is at the numbers 0.68. So this is what we're going to plug in into the same equation. 0.68 equals our actual, which we don't know yet, minus the mean over standard deviation. We're multiplying both sides by 25. Do that in your calculator. We have 25 times 0.68. You should get 17 equals, that cancels out, minus 110. Add 110 to that. You should get 127 equals x. So the top 25%, you have to have at least a score of 127. That was all about z-score calculations.